Yo, I fucking called this shit, man. Like a fucking year ago, I called this shit. Like I said that Matthew Stafford would have gotten traded. You know what I mean? Look at the fucking date on this shit. Look at the date on this shit. Look at the date on this shit. September 13th, 2020. Look at the fucking title of this shit is. Dak will be on the Lions next season. The Matthew Stafford era is over in Detroit. And I said they would do a Dak for Stafford trade. And specifically, I said that they paid all these dudes on the Cowboys. They paid Zeke. They paid Lawrence. They paid Jalen Smith. They paid all these dudes. Why they not pay Dak yet? Why? Someone please tell me. Okay, also another thing. For anybody who thinks the Lions are going to draft a QB, that's fucking stupid. Their defense is too trash for them to justify drafting a QB. So, and also, the Lions are not trash enough to need a new QB. Because Matt Stafford was not the problem. The problem was defense. So if you bring in another QB, then he's probably going to have a worse record than Matthew Stafford. So might as well bring in a guy like Dak who actually has experience. You know what I mean? Draft a dude like Kwity Paye who can change your defense for the better. And y'all be set. You know what I mean? So, and also, you might be able to get a little bit more value out of that pick, honestly. Okay, so, because if you really think about it, if you do Dak for Stafford, like, because the value of Dak is like 2 first-round picks. So if you do Dak for Stafford, you could probably, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, Stafford and a third. I'm thinking Stafford and a third for Dak, a second and a first. And I'd say, here's what I'll say. I'll say Stafford and a 2021 first round, 2021 third round pick for Dak, a 2022 second, and a 2023 first. Because, okay, this is my thinking about this whole situation. So, Dak is going to take a year to get back to being Dak, obviously, because he just had a major injury. But Stafford is still in the prime of his career. If you could give up draft, I mean, the Cowboys, like, what is the third round pick for the Cowboys? Like, what are they even going to use that shit on? And also, I have an assumption that they're going to trade Michael Gallup to the Ravens for like a first. I think, now people think Michael Gallup isn't worth the first, but to the Ravens he is. Who the hell are their receivers? Who the hell are their receivers? Marquise Brown, Mark Andrews, Dez Bryant. Like, who the hell are their receivers, bro? Someone please tell me who their receivers are. So, yeah, also, yeah, they paid Mark Cooper. They paid all these dudes. And also, Cedric Wilson, he did seem like he did seem like a pretty good third option. I mean, if you have CeeDee Lamb and you already paid, if you have CeeDee Lamb and you already paid my man Amari Cooper $100 million, then why would you pay so much for, like, because eventually Michael Gallup is going to be like the third option because CeeDee Lamb is already on the rise. So yeah, I think they'd be best off just trading him because they're going to lose him in free agency. There's no way they're going to be able to pay Michael Gallup and then also manage to pay all these guys. It's not possible. So I think they're going to trade because, like, if the Ravens, what are the Ravens even going to use their first round pick on? A receiver, right? They're probably going to use it on a receiver. And then they could use their second on like a guard. And then, yeah, I mean, they don't really, the Ravens really don't have that many weaknesses if you really think about it. They only have like a select few weaknesses, but for the most part, they're pretty lit. So, yeah, they're going to probably use their first on, they're going to give their first to Gallup. And then, so Dallas is going to have 2 firsts. So if they give up a third, that's probably not an issue. And, yeah, so Dak going to be on the Lions. He's going to take a year to get back to being Dak. They're probably going to sign him to an extension just for security purposes. Because if they sign Dak to an extension right now, this is probably the cheapest they're going to get him. Because by the time he gets fully healthy next season, and they lose him, then then his value goes up way more. Like, his value already went up based off of the Mahomes deal and shit, and based off the fact that the Cowboys were trash when they got rid of him. But on the Lions side, I mean, I get it. You're paying Dak a lot of money, but who the hell else are you paying money to? I mean, I think the only guy that's getting any sort of money on that team is Trey Flowers. I mean, you still have Golladay and Marvin Jones, but like Golladay, his value's gone down because he hasn't played the entire season. So Marvin Jones, you could probably let walk, and then draft that boy Charleston Rambo out of Oklahoma. That dude's a fucking beast, bro. That dude is a motherfucking beast. So, but anyway, yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Kwity Paye in the first round. Get Dak. Re-sign Golladay, because they're not going to re-sign Golladay and Marvin Jones. That's not happening. You know what I mean? Because both of them want, like... Well, actually, no. I think Golladay is going to ask for a lot of money, but I don't think he's going to get as much money as he thinks he's going to get. And I don't think the Lions are going to let him walk. But for Marvin Jones is most definitely gone. I mean, he's most definitely gone. So yeah, I think Dak's going to be on the Lions. Because here's another underlying storyline. I think I mentioned this in my previous video. But Aaron Rodgers is probably going to be out of the NFC North. So that shit's going to be wide open, man. That shit is going to be wide open. We got the Lions with Dak. We got the Lions with Dak. We got the Vikings with Kirk. We got the Bears. I'm assuming Cam Newton will be on the Bears just because they're not bringing back Nick Foles. I think they're going to trade him to like the Broncos. Because here's the thing about the Broncos. I don't think they want to move on from Drew Lock entirely, but they do want to provide him some competition. They even stated, like, oh, they want to bring in some veteran competition, like Minshew or Andy Dalton or Nick Foles. I mean, I guess they could sign Andy Dalton for cheap. But Andy Dalton already said he doesn't want to be back. He wants to go somewhere where he knows he can start. So I think Andy Dalton's probably going to sign like a 1-year deal in Washington. Originally I said Jacksonville, but once he said he didn't want to be a backup, I think Washington would be the best, because if Andy Dalton can't beat out Taylor Heineke, then there's a problem. And also I think they're going to draft QB too. So I think what's going to happen is they're going to draft Mac Jones. Because here's what the fucking Redskins, or like the Washington football team, they always like to have like 3 QBs on their roster for like no goddamn reason. Like they had like Dwayne Haskins, Case Keenum, and then like Kyle Allen and Alex Smith on those. They always like to have like 15 different QBs on the same roster. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did that shit. But anyway, yeah, so I think that's going to happen. And then, now I don't know if they're going to, they could sign Curtis Samuel. I could see that happening. Or they could draft a guy in the 2nd round, but I don't know. Originally I thought, oh yeah, Jalen Waddle might go to the Redskins, but But if they use their first round pick on Mac Jones, then where's Jalen Waddle going? But anyway, so, and also the NFC East is pretty much going to be wide open too, because, what is it? The Eagles are trash as fuck. The Giants, they have a good chance to win. We'll see how they do. The Redskins are still going through some QB controversy, like Taylor Heineke or not Alex Smith, because Alex Smith's about to retire. So, yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be really interesting to see next season. And then so the Cowboys with Dak, because the Cowboys with Stafford, I think they have a chance to win that division. It's probably gonna be either them or the Giants who win that division next year, but I think they got a good chance, because the thing about Dak is that, like, he's always been around, like, really talented guys. We'll see how he elevates the Lions. I think the Lions fit his play style because they have the Ezekiel Elliott role with DeAndre Swift, and they got Galladay, and then Rambo would probably be like the Gallup type of role or something, and then Cephas can be like CeeDee Lamb type of shit. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of something. And also, if they draft Kwity Paye, that could really fix up their defense. Because one of the reasons why their defense was so trash, it wasn't necessarily because of their secondary. It was because their pass rush was so bad, it kind of made the secondary look bad too. Like, originally I had like the video title last year, like, Dak to the Lions, Chris Jones coming too. But then Chris Jones re-signed. It's like, I thought Chris Jones would have been a good fit for the Lions, because what they need is like an interior pass rusher. They need someone who could like, who's like a pass rusher and a run stopper at the same time, which Chris Jones, I guess he's kind of that. I mean, if they wanted to sign a knockoff version of that, they'd probably sign like Geno Atkins or something. But Geno Atkins, like, I think he's getting up there in age, so I don't think that's gonna happen. So yeah, because I don't know, the NFC East and the NFC North are probably going to be like the two most trash divisions in football next year. So I can see both teams having a shot in that division, on those divisions, because if Aaron Rodgers leaves the division, then we're gonna have the Bears, who are always inconsistent, the Jordan Love-led Packers, the Dak coming back from a career-ending injury Lions, and then Kirk and his 5 interceptions, 5 touchdown games himself Cousins. So it's like, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So here's what I got when it comes to Dak and it comes to Dak. Because here's the thing, and another reason they're not gonna want to pay Dak long term is they're not gonna want to pay him long term. They'll probably draft a guy in like the 4th or 5th round long term, like Jamie Newman or something. So that, because Stafford is getting the job, obviously, but like Jamie Newman can probably be like the long-term option once Stafford gets old and shit. And like, cause this dude Dak wants like $40 million for winning like 6 games a season. Like, that's not happening, man. The only team I could see doing that is the Lions. The Colts don't want to do that because they're all over Carson Wentz's cock. You know what I mean? They're definitely getting Wentz, man, because Wentz, he still doesn't want to be in Philly. Like, even after like that, oh, they got the coach. It's like, no, it doesn't matter. Y'all literally ruined this man's career. He's not gonna want to stay there. Just let him go. Let him go. Build around Jalen Hurts, because Jalen Hurts actually seemed to play better. You know what I mean? Like, why do you want someone who doesn't want you rather than someone who does want you and is better? Like, that's what I've always wondered. It's like, some guys, they always choose the 7 who's like a complete bitch over like the 8 who's like nice as fuck. You know what I mean? Like I don't get it. No, actually no. Girls do the same shit. It's like, actually no. Never mind. Girls is like kind of reversed. They choose the 8 who's like a complete douchebag over like the 7.9 who's like nice and like respectable and like actually cares about stuff. So, I don't know. But yeah, back to this point. I think this is gonna benefit both sides long term because for Stafford, he could play. They could draft a guy in the 5th round or 6th round to learn behind him. Dak gets to play on the Lions. He probably gets all the money in the world on that team. And they don't need to draft a QB if they have Dak. They can work on their defense, which is their actual main issue. Because if you put a rookie QB on the Lions, you're throwing those guys in the fire. You need to have a guy who's experienced. Now, people might say, Tyrod Taylor. No, fuck off. Fuck Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor can go fuck himself. Tyrod Taylor can go be a backup on like the Seahawks or something. In case Wilson, because Wilson probably is going to get injured at some point, bro. Like, this dude hasn't gotten injured yet, but like, with the way this shitty-ass offensive line is playing, I wouldn't be surprised. So, go back up Wilson on the Seahawks and fuck off, okay? So yeah, so Dak to the Lions, Stafford to the Cowboys, Gallup to the Ravens, and NFC East, NFC North, probably going to be the most trash divisions in NFL history next season. And with that, I'm out. Bye.